Hugs and I are here at the Mark of Horror. First, I have to give a shout out to my artist friend Erica Summers, who designed this absolutely fabulous alien clock. I just absolutely adore it, and she does incredible artwork. I have many of her paintings hanging up in the horror shed. So, thank you, Erica. We made a trip to McKays recently. They're an incredible bookstore that's located in Knoxville, Chattanooga, and Nashville, Tennessee. They're the size of a super Walmart and sell nothing but used books, used DVDs, and used media. Their used media section is incredible. They have the movies separated out by horror, science fiction, drama, action. The horror section takes up 4 3-foot sections 6 feet high. And that's a lot of movies. I brought in a ton of stuff to turn in for credit. Basically all the stuff that I had before this project that was not horror. So I turned in a whole bunch of westerns and my action movies and my science fiction movies. And I picked up a ton of $1.95 and less movies. But the movies that we're going to talk about today are all from their normal shelf section, which means that they're not $1.95. These were more expensive, and it's basically what I used my credit on. Just stuff that I had to have. I got Children of the Corn because I didn't have Children of the Corn. I have, of course, seen it. It's not a big favorite of mine, but it's an enjoyable Stephen King adaptation. But if you don't like the first one, there's Children of the Corn 2, The Final Sacrifice, Children of the Corn 3, Urban Harvest, Children of the Corn 4, The Gathering, Children of the Corn 5, Fields of Terror, Children of the Corn 666, Isaac's Return, Children of the Corn, We Give Up Numbering Them, it's called Revelation, and then they stuck some Halloween films on here, which of course I have all the Halloween films. But now I have a Children of the Corn Marathon Day. I don't know when it's going to be, but it'll be fun. Toolbox Murders 2. You might wonder why I sought this out. It was actually because I was searching for Tobe Hooper's films, and he made Toolbox Murders, and this was sitting right next to it. And it wasn't too expensive, so I bought it. McKay's prices, except for the bargain table, their prices tend to be kind of high. They sell used for usually a little bit more than what Amazon will sell it used for. But since you're there, you're not charged shipping, and presumably you're bringing a bunch of stuff in for credit. The Sentinel. I highly, highly recommend this film. It is crazy. Not only is it crazy, it stars everybody. In here, this is on the list of people who are listed in it. Chris Sarandon, Prince Humperdinck. Christina Rains is our heroine. Martin Balsam. John Carradine, in one of his last films. Jose Ferrer, Ava Gardner, Arthur Kennedy, Burgess Meredith, Sylvia Miles, Deborah Raffin, and Eli Wallach. Well, those are all the people who are listed in the cast. People who are not listed in the cast, but you need to look for: Christopher Walken, Jeff Goldblum, and a few others that you'll spot that you'll know. For classic horror, 5, which is not really classic horror, it's more apocalyptic than horror. The Mad Magician, which honestly is just... The Mad Magician is wonderful. It's Vincent Price. All of his films are wonderful, but it is just a ripoff of House of Wax. It's essentially the same. It's essentially the same film, only he's a magician instead of a person who makes wax dummies. The Man Who Turned to Stone, and The Terror of the Tongs, which is a fascinating, a fun yet racist Yellow Peril film from Hammer Films in the 60s that led to them casting Christopher Lee as Fu Manchu in 5 different films. Terror of the Tongs, he essentially plays Fu Manchu, but he's not named as Fu Manchu. Stakeland, which is a nice take on vampire-driven society. Vampire's Coffin, which looks like a public domain film. It was a couple of bucks, but it was one I've never heard of, so I'm happy to give it a try. Seventh Sign. This one was $3, but I wanted to give it a try. Lake Placid, because I can't find my copy of Lake Placid. I don't know what happened to it, but Lake Placid is an absolute classic. Everyone should own this film. Blood Monkey. I don't think I need to say anything more about this film. You either see this cover and you want to see it, or you don't. The Changeling with George C. Scott, absolutely one of the best ghost stories ever told. Victor Frankenstein, whoever had this, didn't even bother to open it, but I picked it up for $3. Daniel Radcliffe, James McAvoy, and it'll go with the 100 other versions of Frankenstein that I have. But I will get around to watching it.
Sure you will.
The Rage, Carrie 2, because, you know, we wanted Carrie to survive at the end of the Greek tragedy that was Carrie. Okay, maybe this doesn't make any sense, but we'll see if it works out better for whoever this is. Joyride 2. Well, you see, the problem is when you go to the bargain bin and you pick up Joyride for 25 cents, you figure you probably need Joyride 2 for a couple of bucks. The Grudge 3. Of course, I already had Grudge 1 and Grudge 2, so guess we'll figure out what Grudge 3 is like. Haunter. This is a very good modern ghost story. I can't recommend it highly enough. Looks like a British production of something called Crow. It's not like the Brandon Lee Crow or anything like that. It's just called Crow. I don't know if it's any good or not. John Carpenter's The Ward. I love John Carpenter. He's my absolute favorite director. Okay? The Ward is not very good. That's why it's taken me so long to own it. But it was a few bucks, so I purchased it. I don't want to spoiler it, but it's very much like a certain other film that was made within a year of it, that had been made before it, and has the same twist. But I'm not going to spoil it for you. Ed Wood's Bride of the Monster. I love Bela Lugosi in anything, and he is pretty hysterical in this film. They show color pictures on the back, but I'm pretty sure it is not it's not in color unless because it's supposed to. It says black and white, but they show you pictures in color. Boogeymen, the Killer Compilation, the scariest boogeymen to ever appear in film, and so just basically a clip show. I love clip shows. I love trailer compilations. I will sit and watch trailer compilations for hours and hours. I could take a whole day and watch trailer compilations. Clip shows aren't as good, but they're great to have in the background when you're working. Tobe Hooper, I had mentioned. Eaten Alive. Neville Brand on the cover. A kind of a low-budget shocker, kind of has gone under the radar. But it's grimy, but it has a lot to recommend it. Which is more than we can really say for Jaws the Revenge. This time, it's personal. One of my favorite taglines, but this is not a good movie. When Michael Caine was asked if he had seen the film, he said that he stars in. He said, "No, have you seen the house it purchased?" Frank Henenlotter's Brain Damage, which I've never seen. I've only seen his basket case. I still have to get a copy of Frankenhooker, which I'm surprised my wife didn't laugh at, but she had heard it the other day. And I still need Basket Case 2 and Basket Case 3. But I've never seen Brain Damage. I'm looking forward to this. If I ever get a chance to watch things. There's the Tobe Hooper Toolbox Murders that the Toolbox Murders 2 was sitting next to, so I had to get it. I had the original Wrong Turn with Eliza Dushku, which is an okay if icky horror film. The second one with Henry Rollins in it is absolutely hysterical. It's a reality show, goes on location, and they get picked off one by one. So I really enjoy Wrong Turn 2. Wrong Turn 3 to 6, that's Left for Dead, Bloody Beginnings, Bloodlines, and Last Resort. Not so much, but, 6 films, 1 price. I'm there. Fear No Evil. One of the 80s horror movies, one of the few 80s horror movies that I've not seen. That along with Brain Damage. I don't know if Brain Damage was 80s or 90s, but it's one of the few I haven't seen, and so I got a copy of it. I had to pay a little bit for it. Larry Cohen's God Told Me to Kill, which is also known as God Told Me To, because apparently sometimes they leave the word kill off. Larry Cohen made The Stuff, and Q, and It's Alive, and all of his films are filled with humor and social commentary. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what this one's like. Clown. I saw this one first on Netflix, and it is a wonderful film about a dad who's just trying to help his kid and starts slowly turning into a clown involuntarily. And it's pretty scary stuff. It's pretty scary stuff. Vincent Price, Tales of Terror, Pit and the Pendulum, and the Raven, because for some reason I was missing Tales of Terror. The others I already had, but it was worth paying just for Tales of Terror. Blood for Dracula. This is also known as Andy Warhol's Dracula. And I actually am going to have to read up and find out why they were called Andy Warhol's Dracula and Andy Warhol's Frankenstein, because he doesn't direct the film and he didn't write the film. I guess it's done in the style, and it's maybe part of his... He had basically an artistic posse. So, anyway, I have Blood for Dracula. They wanted too much for Flesh for Frankenstein, so I will get that at some other point. But this is where Udo Kier starts playing vampires, and they never let him stop. So be careful. Trick or Treat. This is not Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat is classic Halloween movie. It's just absolutely wonderful. Again, I can't recommend it highly enough. This is a different one about rockers and pacts with the devil and stuff. And I haven't seen it yet, but I look forward to it. It has Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne and supposedly has a really good soundtrack. Okay. This is my kryptonite. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Werewolves of the Third Reich. You put a Nazi in a horror film, and I will buy it. I love Outpost, the Outpost series, and Blood Creek, and one of my absolute favorites is Shockwaves with Peter Cushing. I have no idea if this is any good. I enjoyed the recent Overlord, but I'll look at Werewolves of the Third Reich. Mario Bava's Blood and Black Lace. Classic Italian horror film. I'm looking forward to it. And I got a 4-pack of Cabin Fever 2, The Descent, and The Descent 2. Cabin Fever and The Descent have been reprinted so many times that they cost nothing. I see them everywhere. Everyone has them. And of course I have them. But Cabin Fever 2 and The Descent 2 both kind of got forgotten. And so they're in this 4-pack, but I never see them singly. So I'm glad I got this. The Brotherhood and The Brotherhood 2. I don't know anything about these two, but a twofer, and it was pretty cheap. I was happy to get it. War of the Dead, another case of, you put Nazi monsters on the cover, and I'm going to buy it. And Cell, Stephen King's Cell. I enjoyed this, but the book is so much better than this. And then I treated myself to a bunch of Blu-rays, because I still had some credit left. Final Girls. This is a wonderful send-up of the slasher genre. Definitely go out and watch this. I don't even want to spoil you by telling you what it's about. The only thing that I didn't like about this film is that they wanted to appeal to a teen audience, so it's PG-13 instead of R, and so they have to be tricky about how they work around slasher tropes, given that you're going with a PG-13 film. Fright Night with Colin Farrell and David Tennant. This one was a fun, slick updating of the classic with Roddy McDowall. Green Room. This one is really tense. Most places describe it as a thriller, but I view it as a horror film. It's a rock band gets trapped backstage at basically at a neo-Nazi area because one of them witnesses a murder, and the neo-Nazis are trying to decide what to do with the band members because they're witnesses, and the band members realize that they have very little hope of escape, and they're trying to figure out what to do. Patrick Stewart plays a neo-Nazi, and he does a really good job of it. Happy Death Day, another hilarious film. This one is Groundhog's Day as a slasher. And it's hysterically funny, and I don't think they expected it to make as much money as it did, but this Valentine's Day, the sequel comes out. Happy Death Day to You. Lost After Dark. The quote on the back here is the best 80s slasher film that wasn't filmed in the 80s. So I'm looking forward to watching this. This may be actually my next film that I watch, if I ever actually get out to watch anything, because I'm trying to get this started. My Soul to Take. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is actually a huge, huge hole in my history. I have never seen the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I have seen that.
I've seen the sequels. I've seen the reboot. I have not seen the original.
Oh my gosh.
And then, of course, one of my favorite all-time movies, Trick or Treat, because I don't know what happened to my copy. But Trick or Treat is absolutely wonderful, and Sam's on the cover. And my daughter, for Christmas, made me a little Sam doll, which I will now run out of camera and go get.
Aye! Do do do. Baby shark do 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 do. Baby shark do 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 do. Baby shark do 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 do. Baby shark. Grandma shark do 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 do.
Yes, baby shark do 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 do. See?
Let me zoom in. Oh, so cute.
That's my Sam doll that my daughter made me.
You're so lucky.
And I told her she needs to start making a bunch of these and all the other characters and put them on her Etsy shop. And that's about all for our McKays trip. We'll be back at you later. Please click like, add subscribe, and all those other things. You can even comment below. Thank you. Good night.